is this? Crash and Burn, the Emma Watson story. What Emma Watson? What?
Oh dear, it's not a very good time to be Emma Watson, is it?
Uh-oh.
From child actor to indie darling to big budget star, and finally to whiny, controversial, and divisive activist, increasingly disconnected from reality and now publicly ridiculed by one of the biggest names in modern culture in what may go down as the most savage dressing down in history. Ever since she exploded onto the big screen with the Harry Potter franchise, her acting has carried her to the very cusp of A-level stardom before it all came.
I don't think she was ever like, she's one of those child actors that will all, like, I don't even want to say child actors. She's just famous because of Harry Potter, right? She was phenomenal, a phenomenal casting in Harry Potter in general. Like, the whole cast is fucking phenomenal. Like, the OG Harry Potter, the shit I grew up on. Unfortunately, for the newer generations, y'all are gonna grow up on fucking slop. So, you know, if you want to watch some fucking cinema, go back and watch the OG movies. A TV show. I mean, the casting looks like dog water. It looks so bad. But to be fair, she is super fucking famous. A-list. What else has she done besides Harry Potter? You know what I mean? At least, you know, Daniel Radcliffe has done a couple projects where I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty fucking good. This is a good performance. And also, Ron, I forgot his name. I don't know his name, but he's been in a couple movies. There's one where he was like supposed to die or something like that. It was a funny movie.
Came to a shuddering halt in one of the most baffling acts of career self-sabotage outside of Rachel Zegler.
She on a pod?
A woman who pinned her reputation, her public image, and her entire worldview on whatever happened to be most popular at the time, never considering that the cultural winds might change and what's popular today might not be popular
What is this? I love it when it comes. Oh boy.
tomorrow. So saddle up, dear viewer, grab your wizarding wands and whatever other stupid shit they use in Harry Potter, and let us examine the crash and burn of Emma Watson.
Here we go.
Emma Charlotte Duer Watson was born in Paris, France in 1990 to a pair of wealthy lawyers. So naturally she grew up with all the benefits.
So you're telling me this child actor that is perfectly casted for one of the most whiny characters in the franchise was French? Okay. I did not know she was French. That's interesting.
Benefits of having wealthy parents, private schooling, tuition, multiple homes, and access to any clubs and interests she wanted to pursue. One of which turned out to be acting. Fuck me, she basically is Hermione Granger. Anyway, by 1999, a series of books about a boy wizard were turning out to be pretty popular, and work soon began on adapting them into a movie franchise. For this, they needed a bunch of child actors to play the three leads, including Hermione. Their searching soon led them to the Oxford acting school where Watson was studying, and after no fewer than 8 auditions, she was finally cast in the role. And
wait, she was studying at Oxford as a fucking kid? That's what the fuck?
Well, all I can say about her early performances is you can tell that she was a theatre kid, that's for fucking sure.
I'm Hermione Granger, and you are?
I don't know what he meant about that. Like, I think she did fucking good in the movie. She played Hermione to the T.
Piss taken aside though, for a 10-year-old that had never acted in a movie before, I guess she was fine. Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, I honestly don't like when child actors get attacked. Like, they're fucking kids. They're doing a job that grown men and women are doing, you know what I mean? And like, also I think the reason I feel that type of way is because like the whole situation with little Annie from the Phantom Menace, you never know how them kids are gonna turn out, bro. You really don't.
It was way better though.
And to be fair, when I was growing up, I wished I had the opportunity to do what that kid did. Like, I don't know why the fuck those kids would bully him at his school, because that kid, it was living my fucking dream. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe they were just jealous. That's probably what it was.
Oh, anyway, you don't need me to tell you that the Harry Potter movies would go on to become a global phenomenon over the next several years, keeping Watson and her co-stars so busy that she literally didn't act in anything else until 2007, when she...
To be fair, that's not even like painting the picture good enough. Like when I think of iconic films, I think of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and the first 6 Star Wars movies. Like that shit is fucking peak. For fantasy, whatever it might be, family fun movies, like those movies are peak. Like bro, and you're in that conversation. Come on, bro.
He appeared in the TV movie Ballet Shoes, a film that landed mixed reviews and didn't do a whole
I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was pitch perfect at first. Like, what the fuck?
lot for her career. In public, the Harry Potter series was going from strength to strength, but behind the scenes, the cracks were starting to show. Watson and the others were burned out by the constant demands of filming and promotional tours, and when it came time to renegotiate her contract after the Goblet of Fire, she seriously considered leaving the franchise altogether.
Imagine them recasting. That would be fucking weird. They did it with Dumbledore. I think the original one, I think he died. I could be wrong about that, but I think he actually died. The original Dumbledore from Sorcerer's Stone. But like I think after the third movie, you can't recast anybody because you've already gone through these stages of like growing up with these characters. You know what I mean? That would have probably fucked it all up. Like you think of like big characters being recasted and still being successful. It doesn't happen often. Interesting. Why are you burnt out too? Aren't you getting like stupid money as a fucking kid actor? Like, come on, bro. You probably have generational wealth from just one series of movies.
Still, she was eventually convinced to sign on again. It's amazing what a multi-million-dollar paycheck can do for a girl, isn't it? And by 2011, the series came to a close with Deathly Hallows Part 2. For the first time in more than a decade, Watson was on her own. She'd basically grown up with Harry Potter. She'd never had a normal childhood or lived a normal life, and she likely never would. Keep that one in mind because it'll be important later.
Bro, her life, I just thought about this. Like, for me, like, she grew up and Harry Potter, playing Hermione and Harry Potter was like soccer to her. You know what I mean? Like majority of the population, especially boys in America, play soccer when they're young or play some kind of sport when they're young. Typically it's soccer, right? That's a lot of people's first sport. Like for me to go to like soccer practice and soccer, that was her with Harry Potter. That is fucking weird.
The question now was how to escape the long shadow of Hermione Granger and forge a career of her own. Her first few outings were mostly low-budget indie movies, everything from biopics like My Week with Marilyn to romantic dramas like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and even—
I've never heard any of these, but at the end of the day, like, she got generational wealth. Do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Who gives a fuck?
And heist movies like Bling Ring. None of them were big hits, but they did at least prove that she could be more than a mildly annoying bookworm.
This is actually a good movie. I forgot she was in this movie, but this is just a cameo movie. Is it called This Is the End? Phenomenal movie. Like I'll never forget. Like when I think of this movie, I think of fucking Channing Tatum on the leash. Oh, that's such a fucking good
with
movie.
Crappy hair. 2014 saw her move into big budget filmmaking with Darren Aronofsky's Noah, followed up by low budget thrillers Colonia and Regression. No matter the budget or the quality of the movie, one thing that stayed consistent were the positive reviews for Watson's acting. Now in her mid-20s and arguably at the peak of her career, she was developing a reputation as an eclectic and confident performer, willing to take on challenging roles and play against type, equally at home on the big or the small screen. An actor who wasn't just chasing fame and money, but taking on projects with actual artistic merit. Well done, Emma. Her star was rising. She was rapidly becoming the new it girl of Hollywood. Young.
I do remember back in the day, like there was conversations I was having when we were talking about, like, you know, the Harry Potter cast and why they haven't been so successful. You know what I mean? Like everyone thought like when they were done with Harry Potter, they could have any role they wanted to because they were such huge fucking stars and they've grown up and like the world was their oyster when it came to cinema. And I remember having these conversations, whether it be with my family or my friends, and typically people would always agree that people thought that Emma Watson had the most potential to be the biggest star out of the whole bunch. Which I think at this point I would say Daniel Radcliffe has probably been, I would say, like, actor chops, I would say he's shown me a lot more than the rest of the crew.
Talented, intelligent, and sophisticated, she could navigate interviews like a pro. Opinion. She was a natural in front of the camera, and she held all the correct opinions on important political topics.
Here we go.
Topics. When the Me Too movement kicked off, Emma was all over it like a fly on shit, making speeches about feminism, establishing activism groups, and even getting appointed to the UN as their goodwill ambassador for women. Women,
the UN?
Because truly, no one understands the plight of women in repressive third world regimes better than a multi.
This reminds me of that one video we watched about the was it DEI, and how like from DEI the biggest beneficiary is it's white women. Jesus.
Multi-millionaire, privately educated theater kid Hollywood actress that's never held a normal job in her entire life.
Yeah.
Really?
But more on that later. Pretty soon, Watson wasn't content just to make speeches in front of rooms full of elderly politicians who probably wish they were literally anywhere else. She was bringing her activism directly into the movies she starred.
Nah, bro, they eat this shit up. They're so happy when she walks through the doors. Oh, it's Emma Watson. We love Emma Watson. She's the greatest of all time.
The live-action Beauty and the Beast was rewritten at her request to make Belle into an inventor and engineer.
This was the beginning of the end for Disney. This movie, oh my god, I forgot all about this fucking movie. Like, you see all these Disney movies flop nowadays, like the Snow White movie, for example. There's been several of them. If you haven't been aware of it, just go look at the roster of flops that Disney has been putting out lately. Bro, this movie was the beginning of the end. I swear, this was the first one. There might have been one before this, but I swear this is the first one. I swear.
Because
girls get it done.
Her political worldview could best be described as I support current thing, also known as the Mark Ruffalo technique. Gay! No matter the issue, no matter the complexity or the nuance, you could pretty much guarantee that Emma Watson would be right there in the thick of it, pushing.
To be fair, I don't think anyone should no one should give a fuck what actors think. And I think since COVID, when like they came out and did that little fucking boo-hoo, we're all stuck inside bullshit while they're in their multi-million dollar fucking homes and fucking Beverly Hills, like crying in the fucking bathroom or whatever the fuck it was, like singing along that stupid ass fucking dude. Ever since then, I think everyone should have woke up and be like, hey, why the fuck do we give a shit about the actor's opinion, bro? And I think that's a healthy mindset to have. Now, the fact that she's going on and making this kind of, you know, that one girl that makes maybe politics or whatever it might be, you know, feminism or whatever, their beliefs, and they like wear it on the cuff of their shirt, you know, not even just that, they make it their personality. It's kind of like I don't know, what's the word, like annoying, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to go too far now.
Whatever the progressive consensus happened to be at the time. She was less of a person with her own opinions and ideas, and more like a series of safe, politically correct talking points wrapped up in a flesh suit, all delivered with the kind of sneering, upper-class British disdain that can only truly come from playing life on easy mode from the day she was born. But just like an overloaded cauldron filled with the wrong ingredients, problems were a-brewing, dear viewer. Remember the lady who wrote all those wizarding books? Well, it turns out she'd become quite rich and famous over the years, and as a big raging progressive feminist herself, she and Emma were marching in lockstep on almost every issue.
Oh, wait, why don't... I'm confused where this video is going, honestly. Okay, let's just watch.
All except one. It turns out that the wizarding lady had a few issues with the T part of LGBT and began voicing her concerns with increasing volume. And the reaction from the other side was, well, how can I put this? Now Emma was in a bit of a tricky spot because she'd made it her mission in life to support current thing, but now the wizarding lady who she owed her entire career and stardom to was openly attacking one of the most sacred parts of current thing.
Please, for the love of God, do not let... Bro, please. If she backpedals on this shit in this video, I'm gonna fucking lose it. because I like politics, the pendulum. It's always fucking swinging, bro. It's always swinging back and forth, right? But you gotta stand on business. You can't walk that back.
What to do? Should she stand firm beside her friend of 20 years and back her up? Should she maintain a dignified silence and refuse to get drawn into a fight that wasn't hers? Or should she turn her back on the wizarding lady, hang her out to dry, and make increasingly passive-aggressive attacks against her?
She probably does that the way he framed it, but honestly, she should just speak her mind and explain what she believes. And for a lot of people, what they actually believe isn't socially acceptable. And so like because like you can say one thing and how you believe in it, like whatever, and people will take it a certain way because if you cut it out of context or if you're not having a conversation with somebody so they feel a type of way and it's like wait, hold on a second, you might feel a type of way about how I'm saying this, let me explain it to you in this way, or you know what I mean. And it's not like trying to manipulate your own opinion, it's just trying to put a perspective that they can understand on that, because if they don't even understand how to look at your opinion, they're just automatically gonna be like, oh fuck this guy type shit. And this is what she should do. She should just speak her mind, and this is probably not a good recipe for her if she's trying to stick to the script of the current defense, honestly. But
I think you can guess which one she chose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that'll work great when Emma seemed to be on the side of current thing and the wizarding lady definitely wasn't. The problem with current thing though is that eventually it tends to change, and by 2025 the cultural winds had shifted dramatically. Public opinion on the issue was changing, and suddenly the wizarding lady wasn't seen as the evil witch who had to be defeated anymore. Now people were beginning to actually listen and even openly support her, and it began to occur to Emma that she might have backed the wrong horse on this one.
Fuck.
So what to do? Stand her ground and maintain her position even if it wasn't so popular anymore? Or
just say you're wrong. That's all you gotta do. You say I was wrong, or my opinion has changed. You're not married to your opinions by any means. You don't have to die on a fucking hill. If your perspective does change over time, or you feel like you should change your opinion, it shouldn't be that fucking hard, but obviously these days it is.
Or do a complete about face and pretend like she'd never disagreed with the wizarding lady in the first place. Well, the answer came on September the 24th on Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast, where Emma claimed that she loved the wizarding lady and supported her and would always be open to talking with her.
Passive aggressive, maybe?
Oh, really? That's interesting coming from someone who spent half a decade publicly shitting on her. Now, if you were feeling forgiving, you could probably write this whole thing off as a slightly cowardly but very pragmatic decision by someone who senses the political sands moving beneath her and doesn't want to get pulled down by them. And that might have been all she wrote, except this particular interview came to the attention of the wizarding lady, who until now had stayed pretty quiet on the topic of young Emma. Not anymore, as it turned out, when she decided to deliver the mother of all dressing downs a couple of days later in a very lengthy Twitter post calling out Watson as a spineless grifter.
Wait, what the fuck? She wrote all of this? Well, I mean, she wrote the whole Harry Potter series, but like, goddamn.
When she decided...
Hold on, I'm gonna read this fucking shit. What does it say? When you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness until... Oh my god, she's talking like she's Emma's mom. Oh, Jesus. Your mom fucking isn't... She's disappointed in you, and oh god, this is gonna hurt. Until quite recently, I hadn't managed to shake a certain protectiveness. Oh, Jesus. Hadn't managed to throw off the memory of the children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big, scary film studio. For the past few years, I'd repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma specifically, most notably on the witch trials of J.K. Rowling's. Jesus. Ironically, and this is all because... Is this all because we don't want men in a women's bathroom? Just think about that for a second. Wow. Ironically, I told the producers that I didn't want her to be hounded as a result of
to deliver the mother of all dressing downs a couple of days later in a very lengthy Twitter post calling out Watson as a
The television presenter in the attached clip highlights Emma's all witches speech And in truth, that was a turning point for me. But it had a postscript that hurt far more than the speech itself. Oh, there's more details. Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note. Jesus fucking Christ. From her to me, which contained the single sentence, "I'm so sorry for what you are going through." She has my phone number. This was the back when the death, R word, and torture threats against me were at their peak, at a time when my personal security measures had what the fuck? Did she really write this shit? You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of whatever. Had to be tightened considerably, and I was constantly worried for my family's safety. Emma had just publicly poured more petrol on the flames, yet through one line expression of concern from her would reassure me of her. It's a secret fucking note. That's fucking scummy, bro. Reassure me of her fundamental sympathy and kindness.
Mindless grifter, a shameless opportunist, a fair weather friend, and a spoiled, privileged brat that had never worked a day in her life and was only trying to cozy up to her again because it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Drinker's fucking cooking right now, but I want to know what this fucking letter says. Like other people who've never experienced adult life, whoa. Shit. Like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life. She's ignorant of how ignorant she is. Dude. Who the fuck pisses off the writer of Harry Potter? Oh my gosh, she's cooking. Fuck the grammar. She'll never need a homeless shelter. She'll never going to be placed on a mixed sex public hospital ward. Here we go. It's all about the bathrooms, baby. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is a single occupant and comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. Has she had to strip off in a newly mixed sex changing room at a council run swinging pool? Is she what is this shit, bro? Is she ever likely to need a state-run R-word crisis center that refuses to guarantee an all-female service, to find herself sharing a prison cell with a male R-word who's identified into the woman's prison? Fucking
was politically safe now. Damn, bro, I've seen Mortal Kombat fatalities that were more forgiving than this.
No, I want to see.
A day in her life, and was only trying to cozy up to her again because it was politically safe now.
No. The last part. No, bro, I need to know how this ends.
Politically safe now.
I'm about to go look this shit up. God damn it.
Again, because it was politically safe now.
I hate saying that word. I wasn't a multi-millionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Oh my fucking God. I just got chills. God damn. I therefore understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights is, in which Emma has so probably little understanding or something. I don't know.
Damn, bro, I've seen Mortal Kombat fatalities that were more forgiving than this. I've seen many a debate, many a scathing put down and brutal rebuttal in my time, but never in all of my days have I witnessed a person publicly dismantled with such brutal finesse. It wasn't just a takedown, it was a full-scale verbal evisceration, and proof that if there's one group of people you really don't want to piss off in the
It's a fucking writer. And a good one at that.
Online space is fucking writers, especially billionaire writers with hundreds of millions of fans behind them who built their entire careers out of basically nothing. With that one post, Emma Watson's public persona was transformed from a slightly preachy but relatively respected activist to the living personification of everything that people find so repellent about.
I think honestly, you could just say she looks like a fraud. Easily.
Hollywood actors. The smug, patronizing, I know better than you attitude, the echo chamber mentality that comes from a life of privilege and luxury, the mindlessly predictable conformity masquerading as sophisticated intellect.
Bro, it's like Hermione, it's like you have Hermione and Harry Potter, and she's so smart. She's always at the library. And in reality, you're asking her these questions, and she's just like turning to her back pocket, and she's typing in the question in the chat GPT, and then she comes back all smug, and it's like, you don't know this? It's blah blah blah. It's just.
Intellectualism, and worst of all, the willingness to abandon any position the moment it becomes unpopular. She wasn't just opinionated and insufferable, she was a coward. And for someone who built their entire brand on fearlessly speaking truth to power, well, that was the most damaging revelation of all. So what's next for Emma Watson? Can she possibly claw her way back from this? Well, her movie career basically ended 5 years ago when she pulled the plug on acting to focus on activism, so
why would you do that? Always, always chase the bag. Unless you, I mean, it's possible you can get a bag chasing that way. I don't know. There's some conspiracy theories out there, but in reality, like, why the fuck would you stop acting? Like, isn't that your passion in life? Like, it's just that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, maybe your passion is politics and stuff like that, but if it's politics and stuff like that, activism, aren't you trying to like run for mayor or do something like that? I guess she's got generational money. She's got fuck you money. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, right? But damn, that seems very, I don't know, like that. I would say the best route forward is just do what you love, which is acting, and enjoy it, and have some good performances. And maybe they're not big blockbuster movies, but fuck it, you know what I mean? If you're good at something and you're passionate about something, do that. And it doesn't seem like she's good at this activism shit.
I don't really know if there's any momentum left behind her, even if she wanted to make a comeback. She's 35 now, which isn't exactly old, but it ain't exactly young either, and it's definitely not a good age to try to build your career back up after wasting your prime years in the wilderness.
Nah, that's bullshit. Acting, you can be a good actor no matter what age you are. Straight up. There's way too many shitty fucking actors these days in all these fucking projects. Maybe it's not even shitty actors. Maybe it's just shitty writers. I don't know.
She's not likely to make much progress as an activist either now that her cover's been blown, and she's willing to soften her position on the whole tea issue, because if there's one thing that particular group of activists won't accept, it's betrayal. So it kind of feels like she's fucked either way. Emma Watson really is proof that if you stand for nothing, well, you'll fall for anything. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Very entertaining video by the Critical Drinker. Definitely deserves a like. Go give him a sub if you're not subbed already. Tell him Trizashi TV sent you. Let's read this comment section, shall we? We'll get down to the wild, wild west down here. Elvis Presley's response to being asked about his political views. I just sooner keep my own personal views about that to myself, 'cause I'm just an entertainer and I'd rather not say. Look wiser and wiser as the years roll by. Yeah, you don't have to have an opinion for everything. I wasn't a Bro, that line caught me off guard. I wasn't a multi-millionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Bro, that is a fucking bar. Like, I never thought like I would like read something that J.K. Rowling wrote and like just think about like, wow, that is just complete cinema. You know what I mean? Like, I know the books are phenomenal and everything like that, but like, I'm when I say bar, I mean like fucking lyrical lemonade. Just like that shit was tough, bro. That shit was tough. Emma Watson is basically the prime example of a rich person who acts like they are the exact same as an ordinary person, but also acts like they are the most important ordinary person. Yes. The worst thing a young celebrity can do is believing in their own publicity. Sir Christopher Lee. That speech from Ricky Gervais was a testament and a manual for rich people from Hollywood. Close your mouth as much as you can. Yeah. I think there's a big issue in general around the world where common sense it's just lacking these days. And some reason, when you have a lot of fucking money, common sense just seems to go out the window. But phenomenal video. I hope Emma Watson can figure out her crisis and figure out how to pursue the future. Because I hope she does good. Emma Watson was an amazing actor in Harry Potter. I haven't seen her in anything else except for This Is the End, but she's just a fucking cameo. She's a throw. That whole movie has so many throwaway cameos. It's what makes that movie good. Honestly, it's a phenomenal movie. But her part doesn't. I forgot. I forgot about her completely. So I hope she can get in some good roles that fit her well, because I think she is a very talented actor. I do. I really do. And I enjoy watching her projects, which at this point is just pretty much Harry Potter. And I hope I can enjoy some projects in the near future. And I hope this is, I hope this doesn't get twisted around. And I don't know how Critical Drinker, how accurate everything is, but I do think there is a shift happening politically. I mean, you look all around the whole world, it's fucking nuts. And that's probably because things shifted really far left for a while. And when that happens, it just laws of physics, I guess you could say, but in the political atmosphere. But yeah, that's the video. My name is Trizashi. Comment down below with your take. Curious what y'all have to say. I love having the conversation in the comment section. And like the video, help push it out to more people. Hit the sub button. Let's get to 10K. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.